me. I know it was a few months you reached out, and now this is a great time to have, to be on this platform with you. I'm just totally excited, man. I was looking forward to this call all week. And, I'm just happy that we're able to do this today, so thanks for having me on again.
Yeah,
Appreciate
my
it.
pleasure, brother. It's so good to
Yeah.
have you here today. I just I love sharing people's stories about this water because it was a story that changed my life. I thought it was the biggest scam in the whole wide world when Tim McGaffin was posting about it. He's a good friend of mine, and I was watching him post, and I was just laughing about it, thinking it was so insane, and just, this is crazy. It's water, you know.
Yeah. Hey.
And little did I know that it was me that was insane. It was me that was making the insane judgment. And so now my goal with the Kong Family Show is, and by the way, the Kong family, anybody that has a Kong and water machine, they're part of the Kong family, whether they like it or not.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what's wonderful about this. Like I said, the community is awesome. And again, this is how I got to know you. Was through Tim too. So just that's what's awesome about this. It's a huge community and we all support each other and it's awesome. It really
Oh,
is.
brother, I've been involved with network marketing companies since I was 19 years old. I've been involved with at least a dozen of them. Heck, I was even an Amway distributor at one time. I've been in them all. I mean, I've tried everything. I've always been looking for other things because I can't stand the idea of working for someone else. I've always hated punching time clocks. I've always hated just the whole concept of having somebody else control my future and my how much I can make and that kind of thing. So I've always been an entrepreneur. And quite frankly, this is the first time with all the different entities that I've been involved in where I actually had some serious passion and love and support and something real. This is the first of all of them that has actually paid off. And it's really fascinating. And it's my big thing, brother. I wish I would have known about this before my mom passed away, because I really believe she'd still be here with me today if I'd have known about this water. And it was available. I just didn't know about it. And it really bums me out. It always bums me out. And it's kind of it doesn't really bum me out because it's already done and you can't get bummed out over what's happened in the past. You need to learn from it, grow, and move on, right?
Mhm.
And so now what I do is I use it as a motivation to like help other people so that they cannot have to go through the same thing I went through with my mom, because she's been gone for 30 years here in a half a month. On July 16th, it will be 30 years since she passed away. And I'll tell you what, it still hurts. It never goes away. If you love your mama, it never goes away once she's gone. So take care of your mama, kids. When you're out there, take care of your mama. And but so anyway, brother, I want to get into this. I want to hear your story, man. This is what it's all about. So my first question for you is how, when, and why did you get involved with Kangen Water? And were you a skeptic like I was?
So first of all, I just want to say I can totally resonate with your story there with your mom, as my father just was diagnosed last summer with prostate cancer, and that was by the third day of knowing he had a machine in his home. Same thing. I wish I knew about this technology a lot longer ago, but I could totally relate to what you're saying, and now it's been without making any claims, he's now without any cancer and doing very well, energy through the roof, and exactly, so it's I could totally relate there, and man, it's and that's for all my family. I really want them drinking this water. That's my goal for 2020 was to have all my family drinking this water. But to answer your first question is, it was actually my wife that found this opportunity online. She was looking for a way to um, actually to keep me home because I was working in the oil field. I worked a rotation of 2 weeks on, 4 or 5 days off, and I was away from home, and we were starting a new family. And so she was looking for this opportunity and came across it. And it took her, she was 11 months on the fence with this opportunity, watching and me being skeptical. Like, I know I'm jumping to really your fourth question, but of course I was skeptical because anything online, you think it's just, it is, they're trying to sell you snake oil or, or something. So, but she was looking for an opportunity. And actually, I ended up actually moving from the oil field and finding an in-town job. And I knew deep down from just being in business, I knew my job was coming to an end close. And she pulled the trigger and started the business. And not even 2 months later, I ended up losing my job. And I said, you know what? Because I was thinking about maybe finding something else. And she's like, you know what? If I could replace your income, will you stay home? And I go, of course. So I stayed home for almost 2 years, John. She replaced my income in 3 months. Like, I couldn't believe it. And so I stayed home, raised a family. I have 5 children. And that was our last one that we were expecting, and there was no way for us to go through childcare and for her to work out. So this worked so perfectly. And then the fact that I was learning about the products while she was building her business. And then a year later, I ended up opting in and getting our machine because she came through, the traction side, and didn't really talk too much about the products. I knew I loved the magic, and I loved, the business, the compensation plan, and once I had the water, which was about a year later, I ended up becoming a distributor, and I haven't turned back since. It's been unbelievable. The water has helped me in numerous ways. Man, I just wish I knew about it a lot earlier because I'm an athlete. I played sports 35 years, chronically dehydrated, and I know it would have helped me in my game. As I was very, I could have probably, without knocking my, to my own horn, I probably could have played professional sports. But I'm not saying because I was dehydrated, I didn't play professional sports. I played because I loved the sport. I never thought of it as a profession. I do now because I see the amount of money these guys are making. But that being said, it was something that I really I love, and just like this business, I love it. I love the fact that I see people get results when I share the water. That's what it's about for me, is really helping people and to get to where they're from, to get to where they are, or where they want to go with, if it's their health or, just a true health, everything in Magic stands for. So yeah, that's a little bit of what happened there. So yeah, I really contribute to Lisa, which I know she's watching the call right now too. So she's the reason for me being on this platform, and she's my inspiration. She's my mentor. She's mother of my children. She's awesome. She's the best, man.
So Lisa's your better 99.9%.
That's right.
That's what I say about my wife. My wife, Tina, she's my wives, actually. I live in Utardia. I have, everybody in Utardia has 2 wives. Actually, the truth of the matter is, kids, everybody has 2 wives. Every man has 2 wives. no getting around it. But if you have three, now you might have an issue. But
That's I can only handle one, man. I don't know how you handle two. And that's
well,
all due
she's the
respect with
she's the
Lisa.
same beautiful, incredible, amazing angel, but she has alter egos, and it's interesting. We've been together now for going on 29 years, and
Wow.
it's been a heck of a ride. And she's an incredible blessing, just like your wife is. And so your wife Lisa, she ended up. See, I'm a little confused right here because you were saying that you started replacing your income and everything, but you didn't get the water until a later time. And so, how did you get involved with the business without having a machine?
So she actually opted in with a Ukon, and
Oh, okay.
yeah. So what had actually happened? We wanted a machine. Again, at that time, our finances weren't there, but she found a way to get round up some money, and she bought a new con. She believed so much in this business, as she was watching for a year on the fence and watched our sponsor go from 3A to 682 um, in a year, like and make incredible income at that time. Check flashing was a big thing, right? So hey, but the proof was in the pudding. And and it was burning her at night. She couldn't sleep at night. She's like, Rich, I need to do this. And I'm like, you sure? Like, she's like, I've been watching this guy, and man, and again, they're not talking about an addict, right? So I was like, okay, well, whatever, whatever. I trust in you, right? So, and she didn't let me down. She didn't, she actually over exceeded my expectations completely. But once I knew about like once we had the Ukon and making it how it made me feel, and then learning more about Enagic, because she wasn't really speaking about the products on the front end. It was all about on the back end. And I was learning about it. And then we ended up with the Nespa. And that is like the Cadillac. That is the Cadillac. I think there is where I was like, because we had the Nespa before we had the water machine, the K8, and I couldn't wait. It was burning me. I need this machine. I needed it, and I knew I needed it for my family. And sure enough, it really, really helped, because our last one here ended up with eczema, and suffered for a few months. As soon as we got him on the water, it went away, JJ. Went away. Like, using it topically as soon as, and that helped, but as soon as he started drinking the water, and this is where I know some people want to say, well, we should only give them the 7, but we introduced him to the 8.5, and sure enough, 2 weeks later, it was gone. Not like the flare-ups, everything was gone. So how it's helped us, and there's nothing more powerless than watching your child scratch himself, you know, uncontrollably, and not be able to communicate to you, as he was under 1 years old at this time.
Wow.
It was heartbreaking, and then see how this water helped. Man, I just, it's a testimony that I just love sharing, and I know, just how it's helped for me and my health, and my family's health. It's unbelievable. And it's not, yeah, we just scratched the surface of the water.
Wow.
So very amazing.
Brother, I love that. Did I tell your wife, Lisa, that I love her today? Is
You
she,
have now.
can she come on and show her smiling mug, or do we just need to get her on another day? Because I
Oh yeah.
really want to hear her story. I want to get her story out there, because it's so interesting how this all happens. And sometimes it's both, uh, both of the partners getting together, husband and wife. Other times it's the wife getting on. I've heard stories of wives buying a machine and end up costing the marriage. I've heard stories like Roger Goodett. He he got involved. His wife came home with the machine as he was pissed as all. He was like a pissed off rattlesnake, and now it's like the greatest thing in the world. And it's so interesting how that all works, and how some people make decisions. Sometimes you just have to make a choice. You have to, like, say, this is real, this is something I want, and I'm gonna do it, and I don't need anybody's permission for it. And I've got a niece who lives down in the Virgin Islands, and she wants this machine so bad, but her husband, he's in the water business. He thinks he knows everything about water. He builds desalinization plants down in the Virgin Islands, and he's absolutely 1,000% against it. And so she can't have it. And I'm so disappointed in her that she just doesn't tell him to stuff it in his ear and get a machine. But this is like one of my closest nieces throughout my life. I've got two nieces that are older than me.
Wow. Wow.
That shows you how many kids my mama made.
Hey.
But and I was the second to the last of 12.
Wow.
But so before we move on, what sport was it that you were trying to rock, or was it all of them?
Yeah, actually, I was I just see. Sorry, I just reading the chat here. But I used to. I still do. I play ice hockey. I played ice hockey since I was 4, 5 years of age. And I play slow pitch. Or play baseball too. So I played basketball. I played volleyball. All pretty much at the highest levels growing up as a kid. And ran track and field. So we're really my family and pretty much uncles and cousins. We're all pretty athletic. I had a brother that was could have probably been an Olympic sprinter also, and so yeah, really involved in sports. But now, like I said, now I know the difference at my age. Being able to be hydrated and play a sport like hockey, which is high intensity, and what a difference. And I got my team drinking the water, and I'll just share a little story as they came over for Christmas, and we were chatting about just how our team's been performing, and this was just the Christmas that just passed, and they were talking about how, man, we're seems like our team has a lot, we're really beating these teams up in the third period. And yeah, it must be because we're younger. And I go younger. I go, our team is aged. We got some guys that are older. We lost some younger guys and got older guys. So I don't think that's the reason. I go, you guys don't understand what has really been happening. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? I go, guys, it's the Kangen water. You kidding? That's why we have that energy at the end of the game. Don't tell me for 1 minute that you think it's because we're younger, because we're not. And they, at that point, I could see 4 or 5 light bulbs go off, and they're like, yeah, now they're starting to really believe. Because I would come in with the water bags, and I wouldn't even say anything. I would just start filling up the water bottles. I'm the water guy. I'm just like, you know what, you guys, I can't watch you guys drink tap water. I'm not drinking tap water. There's no way I'm going to do it. If you don't want to hear about what's going on, just feel it for yourselves. And I can tell you, there's some believers now. Believers. I had to do it. There was only one way to do it. And they had to feel it. And they feel it now, JJ.
Amen. Amen, brother. And so yeah, that's an incredible. I just absolutely love your story, and it's kind of like it. What you just said there, real quickly, I got to say, you ever seen that movie, The Blind Side?
No, I don't think I have. The Blind. What is it about?
It's a true story about a professional athlete named Michael Orr, who ended up playing for the Baltimore Ravens. He ended up winning a Super Bowl title. But it's pretty funny. You'll have to watch it because, you know, like you were saying, you play all the sports. You know, I kind of like all of them, blah blah blah. You know, and the little brother dude, he's like, oh yeah, our family, everybody does this. Mom did that. Da 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 da. And me, of course, I do it all. You know, you'll love it when if you get a chance to watch it. I highly recommend it. The movie The Blind Side, because every now and again, Hollywood, they come out with a movie worth watching,
Totally.
and that's one of them. And you know, it did, for some reason, when you said what you said there, it made me think of that. So I had to throw that out at you. But you know, so what would you say? This is just something that's come up because of what you already said, but you and I both know that athletes really, really need this water, something fierce. They really do. And so you, what I want to ask you for is, what would your message be to athletes?
Well, two main things. I would say I'm tired of seeing young kids, professional athletes drop of hydration or dehydration, I should say. Um, and it's sad, and it's only because of one reason, and it's just because of what they're putting in their bodies. You know, so to athletes, if you want the competitive edge or you just want to play to your best ability, I don't believe there's any other way to get to that level, the top. You could do all the training and everything, but even all that training requires you to be at your best health. So if you're not putting the best water into your body, then it really, all that nutrients that you're putting into your body, like vitamins and all those things you're doing, you're shorthanding yourself. You know, you're not fully utilizing everything that you're putting into your body if you're not bringing the best transport agent that your body has, which is water, right? As we all know, I'm not going to get too scientific. I'm not even that scientific. I love the water, but just from what I've learned in the last year and a half about this amazing technology, you need the best transport agent to bring, you know, vitamins to your body, and nothing better than water, and nothing better than electrolyzed water. And I would say, you know, Kangen water being the best of the best. So why wouldn't you want the best of the best? So for hydration purposes, you definitely want to be doing that. And then for recovery, now that's another thing that I've noticed with my sports. You know, we play tournament weekends where we play multiple 4 or 5 games before the water. I couldn't, JJ, I couldn't move. I couldn't move after that weekend. I would take me a full week to recover from a weekend of playing ball. Now, I will wake up. Yeah, I feel a little stiff, but I'm not feeling that lactic acid that builds up in our body anymore. I'm not feeling that at all. You know, so it's a game changer, and my teammates see it. They see it. You know, and they want to say, well, yeah, you know, maybe I should think about it. I'm like, yeah, maybe in a year I might be doing that. I might buy a machine. Why are you waiting a year? But don't you want, a year might not come and nothing's promised, but I can tell you, it gives me a better chance to know that my future is better, my family's future, if I have one of these machines, you know? So it's,
That's
yeah, to
something
the
else
athletes.
I want to ask you about, brother, because
Yeah.
you're in a unique position to answer this question.
Yeah.
Um, what do you think about the prospects of this, to be able to build it up? Because this is something that's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Right now, we're sitting at less than 1% of the population of not only the United States, but like the United States, we're less than one half of 1% of the people in the United States know about and are using this water. And I'd imagine that in other countries, it's probably even more than that. Um, But what do you say to other people out there who have children like you do, have a good family? Myself, I don't have any kids. I just have bunnies and chickens and kitties, and I'm the kid. I'm the kid in the family.
Oh, I hear
But
you.
anyway, so you got a family out there that has a good sized family with young kids that are growing up like yourself. What do you think about the prospect, or what do you have to say to people about the prospect of being able to build this thing up, and not only be able to bring your children in with it? Because I know there are a lot of people out there who have kids, and like their kids are their best sales reps. Their kids are out there telling their teachers and all that kind of thing. But the idea of being able to pass whatever it is you build, you get to pass this along to your family, to your children. What do you say about that? I mean, literally saying that right there just sent chills up the back of my spine. One of those, like, the hair raises up on the back of your neck kind of thing, and it's like, yeah, because it is so special. But what do you have to say about that, and how does that affect what you're doing with this, and you know how does that affect it in the long term with your kids?
Oh man, like you said, I got chills too because everything we do as parents, is to hopefully set our children up for success later. And like, how it's so wonderful that this compensation plan allows us to build an organization that our children can step into, and really not have to worry about, like you mentioned earlier, lining somebody else's pocket, listening to somebody else do the thing, tell you what to do. They can choose if they want to do this, but at least that the finance part of it, because by the time, like, my children are young, so by the time they get to an age where they can hop into this business, their business will be, we have multiple lines in our business, right? So we have one for every child. I have 5 children, but we have a leg for every child in our family right now. So everyone will be at a 6A and or better. And think about that, hopping into a business that's turning 6 figures, without making any claims, right? Or what it could be, but and it's something that they love too. My children love the water. They ask for it by name. They won't drink anything other than the water. Actually, let me share a story. We went to a hotel. We had a wedding, and it was just it was amazing, beautiful golf resort, and I forgot. I bring my water with me everywhere I go, JJ. So I forgot to bring it to breakfast, and the waitress, as nice as she is, she's filling our glasses up, and I didn't drink the water, but my little girl, she went to taste the water, and she put it down, and she's like, "Daddy," she's like, "this water tastes like the pool." And this is my 4-year-old. So you can't teach that. You know what I mean? And so it's she knows the water turns purple, and she loves her water. All my children do. They feel the difference, and it's wonderful to be able to educate them about health, and yeah, water being for fun, but at least you're educating about their health. And it's so wonderful because it's something that we can teach them, and you can feel good about it because they can grow up, if they want to do something like this, to help. This is about helping people get to where they want, and I think that there's nothing more, not a bigger blessing than to go into something and you know that you can have full faith in what you're doing.
Brother, did you ever just sum it up right there, man? I mean, there's in all the things I've tried, everything I've done over the years, I have never, ever been involved with anything that is more rewarding than this. I mean, there's nothing, in my opinion, there is nothing more powerful than having somebody send you a message saying, thank you for saving my life.
Totally.
And I'm like, I always reply back the same way. I say, I didn't save your life. You did. You're the one who made the wise choice. I just told you about it. You're the one who made the wise choice. I got all kinds of people that I've told about it that aren't making the wise choice. And, and then I see their posts complaining about their health. They're complaining about the fact that they're going to the doctor or they got this or that or whatever. But, I want to get back to your kids. And also, this is a little bit different because of your story. Our shows are always a little bit different. Nothing scripted. We're all just like, whatever happens, happens. We'll see what goes on. And
Yeah.
I like to keep it real because this is all from the heart. This whole business is from the heart. And so I like to keep the show, have it coming from the heart. But so you started with an Ukon, and then you ended up getting the Anespa. And then after that, you ended up getting the K8. So could you explain to people how that worked out for you? Because one of the things we're trying to get people to understand is how they can get started, how they can start a business for such a small amount of money. It takes a lot of money to open up a Subway or a McDonald's or whatever, and then you got to have employees, all that kind of crud. So because you've got a really unique experience. This is so cool. I love it. So you started with an Ukon, you then moved on to an Anespa, and then you ended up with a K8. And now you're saying that you got lines for all of your kids down in your business. And so can you explain to people how that not only has benefited you and your wife and your kids, but how is that going to benefit them in the future? Because as far as I see it, your kids, they have their own line that somewhere somehow, but they can also open up more lines as the future comes along, that under themselves, and literally build under themselves and under you, and it literally becomes this. It's the most incredible team that I've ever seen. The champions never quit team. It's
You
the
got it.
champions never quit. It's such an incredible team of people. And so how does this work out for your kids, and where did it all go from starting with the Ukon then to, kind of give people a little bit of a rundown with this? And I know you've got a team training coming up here in a little bit, so we're probably not going to get into the normal things that I ask, but maybe we can get on again, get your wife on again, and we can go into some of that stuff in the future. But how does this all work out from you and then your kids, where it's going in the future?
Sounds good. So what actually happened? So let me just clarify. My father-in-law lives with us, and he opted in the business with the Anespa. So that's how we ended up with the Anespas in our home. But we did do something unique after Lisa purchased the Ukon, and so we knew when she hit the 4-8, that she was going to start another line. So she started another line with another Ukon, and then I came in also under her 5 rank. So it was strategic. We knew that was where we wanted to do that. So once we did learn more about the compensation plan, that's when I knew I was going to be coming in, and the timing was perfect because it just happened to be that time, and it was to leverage our compensation plan. So for me to be in that position under her helps our family, when it comes to compensation. Without going too much into it, you can understand where, if I come in, where all the points are going, right? So that's why we did it that way. But then I started, I got an Ukon also. So there's another line. So there's 5 lines right there. So that's how we did it. And it worked out. We did want a trifecta. And when we started, like Lisa wanted a trifecta when we started off. That's normally how they, how when you get into attraction, that's what they normally try to push. I don't necessarily agree or disagree with that. From a business standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. I could tell you if we started with the trifecta, our compensation would have been a lot greater, but that wasn't the goal at the beginning. Our goal was to get into the business. And I knew when I came in, that's all I wanted to do was get into the business and start sharing the water. And, the money will always take care of, this business will take care of you. If as long as you're doing the right things, you'll always be compensated. If it's like you said, nothing more heartwarming and fulfilling than having somebody say that you've saved their life, literally. And not always does it work out that way for everybody, because they might see, dollar signs. I never saw dollar signs when I came into this business. I just saw I needed, freedom, and freedom through everybody is different. I'm talking about time. Now, money can't buy us time, right? Only our health can buy us time, right? So for me, it's a matter of how long can I live? And now I'm anti-aging. And I'm telling you, I feel better now than I did in my 20s. That's no lie. I feel way healthier. I feel stronger, have more energy. And that's because of the water, 110%. That's how I feel. So that's a little bit of what happened there. So,
Brother, I love that. You just said something that I'm definitely going to be sharing it out into a little meme kind of thing, whatever. You just nailed it on the head right there. Only our health can buy us time.
it's true.
You got to share that out. I got to share that out. We all got to share that out, because it's the only thing that can buy us time. It really is, because there's this thing that you can't buy time. It's something that we've all come to take as a fact. But the truth of the matter is, brother, you just took that, like kicked it to the curb, because there is one thing that can buy us time. One thing. And
all you have to do is change one thing, my brother. Honestly, it's the no true. Like, I just don't, and that's because this is the objections we get in this business. Oh, I just don't have the resources, or oh, maybe I might do it next year when we remodel the house. Or that was the most recent objection I got. I go, brother, you're telling me that you need to lose weight. You're telling me you need better hydration. You're telling me you have all these ailments or whatever, and you're gonna wait? Why? and I know in the US you guys have unbelievable like options when it comes to financing. Like, you can have a machine so cheap. Like, I spend $130 on my cell phone because I wanted the top phone or whatever. That's like two machines. You know what I mean? It's all about your choices. And that's why I told him, I go, you might not live to see, these things, but I can tell you, if you start drinking the water, it gives you an opportunity to earn more income if you want, if that's the main problem. But you just need to start drinking the water so you could feel better, so that your life is going to improve. Because I don't like to make claims, but I know a lot of people that come to me are sick, right? Or they're having some problem. Pay it forward, man. Don't worry about, it not happening. We do these things and think about the consequences. Well, I could tell you the consequences of not drinking the water, because my son will be itching himself to bleeding, and have eczema all over his skin. And I would be dehydrated. These are things I know for certain. I wouldn't be cleaning my fruits and vegetables, with removing the pesticides. Man, the 100 and something uses. I'm finding new uses every day. In the garden, I'm using the water to kill pests, not to kill pesticides, to kill the pests, the aphids, the this and that. Like, man, it's never ending. Now I'm seeing my beauty water making my plants beautiful. Like, come on, like, you kidding? I just don't get it.
Well, that's the thing about it, brother. That's what makes this such an incredible thing, is that we're in the beginning stages of this. Even though this thing has been around for 45 years, 46 years now, it's still in the very beginning stages in Canada, in the United States. There's hardly anybody who knows about it. And, like I always say to people, that we have a product here that everybody needs, that hardly anybody has, that has zero competition. Because there is no competition for this water in the world. There's nobody that makes anything even close to it, nothing. And there's plenty of people out there who say, oh yeah, we're just as good. We do it all, same thing, blah, 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 half the price, But if you actually peel back the layers of the onion, you open up the curtain, you find out that, no, that's not the case. And, so that's something that's really special about this particular opportunity. And I just know that there are going to be people out there that are going to see this show as it goes up onto the YouTube channel and starts getting shared around. And they're going to want to get a hold of Rich Peart. They're going to want to know how to get a hold of him. They're going to be like, I got to work with this dude. He is freaking sharp. I love it. And that's why I always try to get people to come on here and share their stories, because we just never know who's going to resonate with who, and who's going to want to work with who, and who's going to turn whose light bulb in their brain cell on. And so, Rich, how do people get a hold of you? What kind of information would you like to give out, so that if somebody sees this and they want to hook up with you, you can give away all the information you want, from phone numbers to websites to whatever, Instagram, Facebook, I don't care. You give away whatever you want, or nothing at all. It's up to you. I like to give everybody that comes on the show as a guest an opportunity to, like, how do people get a hold of Mr. Rich Peart and start perking and working with him?
Sure thing, man, and I appreciate that. Just Rich Peart, pretty much on all the social media platforms. I'm just mostly on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. You can find me if you search Rich Peart. You can find me. You can find me on YouTube.
Peart. How do you spell it? Just for our audience. I know how, but tell everybody how they spell your name.
Yeah, absolutely. So Rich, just R-I-C-H, and Peart, P-E-A-R-T. And you can find me pretty much on that. Again, find me on most of the on all the handles there. So reach out in LinkedIn, however you want, whatever platform you guys are using, you can find me there. And I'll be more than happy to, share this wonderful gift of true health with you. Yeah. Absolutely.
I figured it was Peart. I figured you were related to Neil Peart, the incredible.
Possibly. Possibly. I know the good and rest in peace. I know he's been. I know he just passed away a few months ago. So yeah. He's definitely, when it comes to the last name, he's definitely the one that really, if you Google or whatever, he comes up first.
Tongue and water.
Hopefully I'll be next. There's another Rich Peart out there, and he's a photographer. So I think he's in the UK. So that seems to always get a lot of pull. So I'm going to try to get my SEO up,
Brother, I love it, man. What a great episode today of the show. What an incredible, I am so blessed and so thankful for you that you came on here today, because I think that your story, what you have to say about things and the way you went about getting started. One thing real quick, I'd like to, because everybody that comes into this, they know that like the Kangen water machine is, you know, anywhere between $2,000 and $6,000, depending on which which machine you buy. But what did it cost to get yourself involved with UConn? How give people a little bit of an idea of how they could just get their foot in the door, get the door opened up, so they could get after it.
See, and that's what's so wonderful about.
Real quick, before you answer that, once you have that UConn position and you're in there, then you can now start selling machines to other people and UConns, and you got everything at your disposal, right? Once you get started that way.
Absolutely, and that's what's so wonderful about Enagic and their compensation plan is they. I know they do that with the UConn, like the UConn program, to make sure that you only can get UConn commissions if you have to have an active UConn, right? So that's the reason for that. So that's, and it's very affordable. And there's 3 options, I believe. You can just pay for it one time. I believe it's $2,000, and then they have a quarterly and the DD, I believe, and the Sigma. So there's a lot, and it's cheap. Like to really get in, and this is what I try to explain to people, because a lot of people, oh, I take UConn or I take turmeric already, and I go, well, what are you taking? Because if it's not the good pure turmeric oil extract, like the strong concentrate, like what Enagic produces, really you're not getting the full benefits of the UConn too. So, and it's very expensive. And really, if you match point, it's equal or cheaper than some of the stuff that you get out there anyway. And then you don't get a business. So this is what is so wonderful about the UConn. Now you can get in and sell machines. And then once you get in, Enagic knows, once you have the UConn, you only are going to start thinking about the other products, and you're going to want the machine, as you should, because the UConn and the Kangen water together, that's what's keeping me feeling, the way I feel. The fast recovery, my inflammation is down. There's why try reinvent the wheel? They've been using UConn for 6,000 years. There's a reason. They know it works, right? So it's really affordable. And if that's the way somebody needs to get into the business, if that's what they really want. I know it's not something that a lot of people want to communicate, but I think that's wrong. You want to get people into this business because ultimately they probably want the water. But if they can't afford the water right away, the UConn is the best way to go. Get them in, and then they'll find a way. They'll find a way to get their machine if that's ultimately what they want. And I know, actually, I think there's one person I see right now that's on the call here. I know that's how she started, and now she has her machine, and I could tell you she's excited.
And who was that? I want to get her on the show too.
I know, Marie. Sorry, I'm calling you out. I'm name calling Marie. Thanks for supporting Marie Gardner, but she's I know you guys might have met or talked before, but she's awesome, and a good friend of ours, and I know she wants to get on the show too, JJ.
Awesome. I'd love to have you on, Marie.
And she's awesome. She's
come on.
She's a hustler.
So my buddy Johnny Potter here, he has raised his hand. He has a question for you. And
Sure.
So Johnny, turn on your camera and answer a question or ask a question, brother.
Absolutely.
Got it. I've been busy doing dishes and all that stuff, and really enjoying being able to listen to the story, the testimony of you there. Rich.
Thanks, bud.
There's my little munchkin.
Hey,
Really, I just wanted to tell you that I appreciate you sharing your story. You know, we go through, spend our life, you know, kind of disconnected with these social media apps and stuff like that. And I just wanted to tell you, thank you for sharing your story, and I'm happy for you. I'm glad that your various family members have been helped by the water. And again, I just appreciate you. Thank you.
hey, thank you very much, John, man. I appreciate that, man. And appreciate you reaching out and saying that, man. This is why I do this. It's really for this. It's not for, you know, I just wish I didn't really have to sell, you know, or feel like I have to sell. I know I'm not really selling, but because I just love what this company is all about, man. It's so in line with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And you know, or what I'm about. And I'm just about wanting to help people. That's it. Like, I appreciate you, you know, resonating with me, man, and being on the call with us.
Well,
Yes, sir.
Johnny
Thank
resonates
you,
with
JJ, for doing the show all the time, for being so consistent. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
I know how that can be sometimes, but appreciate that.
For sure.
No, my pleasure. I love doing what I do. It's incredible. If you love what you're doing, you never work a day in your life. And so I love what I'm doing. And so this is the most amazing thing I've ever done in my life out of all the things I've done. And you know, Rich, you got to know that Johnny, I think he's got 4 beautiful children. And so he's right there in your neck of the woods, and they're all awesome. And you can see one of them, the beautiful little angel right there. And so, yeah, brother, I know you've got to get moving because you've got a training to put on for your team. And I think that really epitomizes everything about this company, is that we are a big team. We are a big family. If you're considering getting involved with something like this, just understand that you're not just getting a nutritional supplement or a shower or a water machine. You're getting a family. That's why I call this the Kong Family Show, because it's all about people that are part of this family. And if you have any of your people that wouldn't mind, you know, I'm always desperately looking for guests, and if I don't have guests, then I have to come up with something to provide some value every morning, 5 days a week, live at 8:45 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and then also on the weekends at any time that works for the guests that has the ability to come on. And so if you have anybody that would be willing, please help me find guests. Please have them reach out to me. Marie, reach out. I'll reach out to you. You reach out to me, whatever. Let's make it happen. Let's get you on. We need to hear your story, because you never know whose life you might change. And quite frankly, Rich, I think that your story today might change thousands of lives as time goes by, because all it has to do is change one person's life, and that could change thousands in the future. And so I am so thankful. And if you wouldn't mind, before we head out of here, I would appreciate it if I could give a short prayer for the show. I'd like to give a prayer at the end of every show.
100%.
To ask our good Lord for help. So, our Father in heaven, I want to thank you so much for such an incredible, beautiful day. And I want to thank you for this incredible man, Rich Peart, who has come in the house today with us to share such an amazing story. Such an amazing story. Lord, I want to ask that you will bless him and bless his family, that they will be able to continue they will be able to continue to share this incredible magic and love with the world. That they will be able to continue to be healthy, that they will be able to continue to push this incredible thing that you and Mr. Oshiro have created. I ask that you will help bless all the people out there that are struggling, that you will help them to open up their minds, to have some discernment, to look for the truth and desire the truth above all else, regardless of how it may conform with their beliefs, that they might be able to change their beliefs based on the truth that they see, that gets into their heart and raises the hair on the back of their necks and sends a chill up their spine. Lord, I ask that you will bless the entire Kongan family, the Kong family, as I love to call them, because, Lord, you know, you and I both know, how do you think that gorilla got so big? He was out there drinking Kong's water, swinging from the vines, jumping into the waterfalls in the jungle. So, Lord, please, we ask that you will help people to open up their minds and desire nothing less than the truth, that you will help them to be healthy. And we ask all of this humbly in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ, our Savior. Amen.
Bless.
Rich, thank you, my brother. Thank you so much for
man.
being here. And I'd love to have you back on again to talk about, I'd love to really get into, have a show maybe one day where you talk about like how you did the business. So that, because people who are listening to this, they're like, what did that do to that? How did that work? You know, maybe you could we could do a show that maps out what you did for your business, how you were able to start with an Yukon, you know, build it into where you're at, you know, and just kind of show people, because sometimes people need to see it visually before they can conceive it mentally. And so if you wouldn't mind, or, you know, if we could come back and maybe do a regular episode, I don't know if you can do an 8:45 a.m. Mountain, you know, Monday through Friday kind of thing, but, you know, you could, or we could do another Saturday episode, and maybe we could make it a team training and, you know, something like that, because I think your story is so special, has so much to offer that, you know, I think this is going to change thousands of lives as time goes by, brother. So God bless you and yours, and tell your wife, Lisa, that I love her today. Give her a great big hug for me, because we are the Kong family, and we love hugs, love hootie woos, and we, because that's what hootie woo is basically, is it's
I
a
love that.
hug. And, you know, we're here to change the world. And as my brother Wetzel would say, we're changing it one glass of hydrogen rich, oxygen saturated, incredibly hydrating Kangen water, 9.5 at a time. One lightning bolt in a box, one box of Yukon, one in Espa, and one incredible, informative show, one amazing guest, and one awesome family and person at a time.
Hey, amen.
God bless you.
And I wanted to shout out Sean, man, actually, because he's been, you know, I never actually met him personally, but man, thanks for all your support, Sean, man. Like just on, you know, just in the social media realm there. Appreciate you, man. Too bad I didn't see you this morning.
The only reason he's not here today is because he's up at a baseball tournament. His son's playing in a baseball tournament up there in Montana, and that's the only reason he's not here. I know he's going to love to watch this show, and the next time you're on, I'm quite sure that he'll be here, especially if it's during the weekdays. And, you know, but whatever, I'm sure we'll be able to get him in here. You're going to love it, because I hit it off like that. And we're not even on the same team, but we're in the same league. It's the same thing with you. We're not on the same team, but we're in the same league. And we're here to help each other to grow this league of people, this incredible family of amazing individuals. And brother, I love you, man. I thank you so much for coming on today.
Appreciate you, man.
And I hope you have a tremendous weekend, and, you know, keep up the great work.
Thank you very much. Thanks again, man. I appreciate you, JJ. Thanks for having me on. And yeah, thanks for everybody watching. And yeah, one cup at a time, one glass at a time, right?
Amen.
Ah.
You think that gorilla got so big, kids? Drink your water, drink your Kong's water, and you'll be a gorilla.
You
A
got it.
very healthy gorilla with lots of time to spare.
You got it.
Love you, brother.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody, for being here. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday for some more fun.
Cheers. Cheers. Thanks again.
See you, brother.